Hello, welcome back to 2 Minute Emergency. I am so glad that you're able to join us once again on this Thursday. It is Thursday, yes. All right, just double checking. Anyway, I am so glad that you could join us. I am your host, Dr. Leslie, and I am a board certified emergency physician, international speaker, best-selling author, and professional photographer. And I am here to inform you about common emergencies in an effort to educate you and keep you out of the emergency department by keeping you healthy and safe. I'm so glad that you're able to join me today. And today's topic is household poisonings. There are a lot of ways you can get in trouble in your own home. Most of these can be prevented. So, when we think about poisonings, we think about ingestion or taking anything in that can cause even mild to severe symptoms. So, generally, we're talking about things like liquids, medications, but it can also include things like gases such as carbon monoxide, which I talked about before. Also, car exhaust, something as simple as if you leave your car running in your garage, how deadly that can be. Today, I'm going to focus more on adults and children. Children, every single day, there are approximately 300 children that present to the emergency department for poisonings. And of those 300 children, we're talking under the age of 19, approximately 3 children die every single day. And this is accidental poisonings. So right now, I'm actually going to put something right across the bottom here. If I can, I'm going to write about the National Poison Control, the telephone number. And this number is available to everyone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they are here always to answer any of your questions about possible poisonings. And let's get that going right now. All right. So that's the National Poison Control telephone number. I would love it if you could write that down, but if not, remember it's all twos with a 1 in the middle. So that's 1-800-222-1222. So as far as poisonings in children, many times we just don't think about the safety issues in our own homes. The most common thing is detergents, and now that so many people are using pods, detergent pods in their laundry, that is another thing that's very common because it's something that's attractive to kids. And so once they get their hands on that, you have no way of knowing how much they've actually ingested versus how much they've spilled on the floor. If they like the taste, did they actually keep it down? Those are all things you need to worry about. If that comes into play, you want to call the National Poison Control Center. So the other things that happen quite often is we as adults, we will use some chemical and there's not much left. So what do? We put it in a container that's not properly marked. We know exactly what it is. But if you have a chemical that you pour into a juice container or something like that, even though it doesn't look like the juice that it's intended, that was in that bottle previously, a child's going to pick that up and try it. I don't know why it looks different, Mom, but I think I'm going to try it. That can cause major problems in a child. And so those are things you want to be careful of. So when we think about household cleaners, we think about antifreeze, which hopefully, if it is kept in your garage, it is up high and away from any possibility of a child reaching it. Locked up is preferred. And that's for any chemicals, household chemicals. You want to keep them up high and locked away. We know some children do like to climb, so that's why I specify being locked away. Antifreeze is attractive to kids. If you think about the color, it's a bright fluorescent yellow-green. It smells sweet, and it actually tastes sweet. And that's because it contains ethylene glycol. And when that is ingested, it can kill you very easily. It affects multiple organs of the body. It affects the brain, it affects the kidneys, it affects the liver, all of these internal organs, which can be lethal. Also, other things that children can get into, their parents' medications, grandparents' medications, all of these, once again, in the medicine cabinet. Leaving it on your nightstand is not safe. Children see these pills, they look like candy. Some of them may have different color coatings. Attractive. So potentially deadly for children. Even for adults, many times we don't stop to think about what is aspirin, what is Tylenol or acetaminophen, what is Motrin, Advil, ibuprofen. And so when you're not thinking about it, if you have that pain, you take some, well, that didn't quite work. I think I'll take some more. Maybe I'll take a little bit more. Each time you're taking it, you're potentially reaching that dangerous dose. All the instructions are on the back of packages for a reason. It is recommended that you do not exceed that recommended dose. Because, take aspirin, for example, the first thing that happens is you start to feel like you're hyperventilating because you need more and more air. Well, that's because it's going to affect the lungs first, and then it changes the metabolic components of our body, and that is what causes the problem. Acetaminophen or Tylenol can also, once that ingested, and I hate to use the name brands, but I think it's a lot easier for everybody to understand and remember. So that affects the liver, and you can easily go into liver failure, requiring a liver transplant or leading to death by taking too much Tylenol. And that can also be just at one time, a large amount at one time, or it can also be chronic. So if you're taking too much Tylenol every day, it can lead up and cause problems in your body. So another thing to be careful of. Another thing I wanted to mention was simple things that we don't necessarily think of. Toothpaste in babies or infants, no, it's not going to be lethal, not going to be lethal to them at all. But if they get a hold of a tube of toothpaste, it tastes good, that can cause nausea and vomiting, stomach upset, abdominal pain. One thing that I must mention, because it is the holiday season, is everybody thinks about poinsettias, that Christmas plant that we all love, as being poisonous. Believe it or not, a lot of that has been overblown. So yes, they can cause nausea and vomiting, but they're not toxic to either people or to pets, as they were once thought to be. What's actually a lot more toxic, and I have 2 of them in my own home, is what's called a snake plant. Some people also call it the ribbon plant. Some people call it mother-in-law's tongue. That is something that is toxic extremely to pets, but also can cause that same nausea and vomiting in humans. So, as a word to the wise, just to remember, first of all, the number right below, the National Poison Control Center, write that down, put it on your refrigerator if you have children in the house. Make sure it's in an area that you will not forget. In the holiday seasons, as we're cleaning our homes, as we're getting everything just the way we want it, we start decorating, be careful of all of the cleaning solutions, as well as other household items that should be kept up and away from children's reach. And even for adults, leave things in the containers that they were meant to be in, so that you don't accidentally make that mistake. I've had patients who accidentally drank rubbing alcohol and who have accidentally drank household bleach and different things because they didn't think about it. It was in the wrong container. So always be very careful when you're talking about chemicals. Once again, just keep these little things in mind because I want to keep you safe and out of the emergency department. So once again, I am Dr. Leslie, your board-certified emergency physician, best-selling author, international speaker, and professional photographer. And I am bringing to you 2-minute emergencies every Tuesday and Thursday at the same time, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my purpose is to educate you to keep you healthy and safe and out of the emergency department. Until next time, which will be next Tuesday, keep safe and healthy. Bye for now.